Now, okay, that's concerning the shares. So let's continue here. Let's go to the commodities. I mean, there are some brokers offer many commodities, and so that except from beside gold and silver or oil, you can also bet on, for example, on orange, on soybeans or beef, but then you have to look also what influences this market. So for example, there are some countries that produce much of the orange juice that is produced worldwide, and if for example they have bad weather and bad seed, then less orange juice is produced, so the price will rise. But this was always too complex for myself. I didn't want it to have this big research. So I think what is easier is betting on gold and silver, because you can't. There are much information about it. You can see the supply, how much they are producing, and the demand on the market. Silver is used in big industries, but they're also depending from dollar, because everything is paid in US dollar. And what you can observe is also, well, if the dollar is falling, normally gold and silver price is rising. At the same time, also the indices are rising. So normally, if the dollar goes up, the indices are falling. Normally at the same time, but that's not always like this 100% of the time. And for example, if you want to bet on gold, you can also choose between shares, because if the gold is rising, for example, like 10% normally, if you buy a share on gold, like Harmony Gold Mining, at the same time the share will rise maybe 20, 30, 40%. So it's always between 10% or 1% in gold is equivalent with 10 to 15% in at the share at the same time, but not only while going up, but also while going down. So you have to be careful, and only if you're sure that it goes in one direction, I would bet on the shares. Instead of this, you can also buy some funds. There are very good funds then in the market where you can bet on many shares. So at the same time, with one price, you're betting on like 50 shares of gold, silver, and other commodities if you go for the long term. So the risk is less, of course, also the gains, but then at the same time, you minimize your risks. So let's continue what we have here. Also, the currencies. Let's take here the pair euro US dollar. It's the biggest pair, I think, worldwide. Most money is traded here worldwide every day, between 5 and 6 billion. No, it's not billion. In the US, we say $1 trillion traded every day. And most of this, I think, 2 trillions only for the pair euro US dollar. Why is this? Because US is the biggest market worldwide. They have the biggest gross national product, and so everything is bought there. And this means also the demand for US dollar is big, because everybody's buying there. And the Europe is also a very big market. That's why so much money is invested in these two forex currencies. So if you buy, what you have to pay attention is the first one is always the one you're dealing. So if you're betting on rising price of the euro, you will buy euro. If you're betting on rising price on US dollar, you have to sell euro. You can't buy US dollar, because the pair here is euro US dollar. If the pair would be euro US dollar, then you would buy the US dollar, and or you would sell US dollar if you expect euro to rise, just to understand how this is working.